Today we are going to focus on writing a sentence. The video that you are watching right now is going to be part of the Social Studies Schoology course for the rest of the year. I will ask you if you have a bag of Fritos, Cheetos, whatever those are in front of you, please don't open them right now because I would like everyone to be able to hear, not the bag crackling. Hear my voice is what I want you to hear. So writing a sentence, there are 5 parts to writing. We're going to call it a quality sentence. 5 parts to writing a quality sentence. And we're going to discuss each of these 5 parts. Part 1 is every sentence must have capitalization. I believe this is the easiest one in the fact that the beginning of every sentence must have a capital letter. Now, there's a couple other parts that we must talk about with capitalization. It's not just the beginning of the sentence that needs to be capitalized. You must also capitalize correctly throughout the sentence. Okay, so the beginning must be capitalized correctly with a capital letter, but throughout the sentence, you can't just throw in a capital letter whenever you feel like it. You have to capitalize correctly. So throughout the sentence, we're also going to look for correct capitalization. One thing that I know has been a problem is the letter I. When you are writing a sentence and you are talking about yourself and you're using the letter I, or the word I in this case, is it lowercase I or is it an uppercase I, everyone?
Uppercase.
It is a capitalized I. So if you're writing a sentence such as, I gotta think of a sentence with the word I in it.
I like
You
pie.
look, yeah, but if you start a sentence with the word I, it's always capitalized, right? I'm not going to come up with an example because I'm on the spot now and it's not working for me. But always capitalize I if it's by itself. You got one, Gloria?
No, I
What?
wish I had. Right now, I wish I had a pie.
Okay, so I wish I had a pie. You would not get credit. Even though you capitalized there correctly at the beginning, you did not capitalize here correctly at the beginning. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so you must capitalize correctly throughout. Do not put in random capital letters. Last thing I want to talk about with capitalization would be proper nouns. Proper nouns are things that have names such as your name, such as cities, such as states, such as places that we're specifically referring to their name. Okay, hopefully again we know what proper nouns are. All proper nouns are capitalized. You must do that. Number 2, and I'm going to go pretty fast here because I don't want the video to be too long. Punctuation. This is going to be a quick one. You must punctuate every single sentence. Punctuation happens at the end, but there is also punctuation that goes throughout a sentence. I'm not going to be super duper picky when it comes to apostrophes and commas and semicolons and so on and so forth. Okay, but if it's something I think a 6th grader should know, I'll call you on it. So punctuation at the end for sure, no excuses. And then throughout, I want you to do the best you can to punctuate a sentence throughout. Number 3, every sentence has a subject. And what is a subject? It's who or what the sentence is about. You must tell me when you're writing who you're writing about or what you're writing about. And that is going to be the subject. That's going to be the topic of your sentence. Who or what. We'll do an example here at the end too just to make sure we got all of these parts. Number 4 is going to be a predicate. The predicate is the action of the subject. The predicate is what about the who or what. And the who or what is the subject, right? What about the who or the what or the subject? Gloria is a girl. Who are we talking about?
Gloria.
What about Gloria? She is a girl, right? So the action of that is she is a girl, and what about her? She's a girl. Okay, so the predicate is what about. You ask the question, what about the who or what? The predicate will always answer that. Number 5, the last thing is a verb. You guys all know that verb shows action. A verb always starts the predicate. So if you look back at number 4, it says the action of the subject. Many of you are thinking, well, that's the verb, Mr. Pottinger. The verb is always the beginning of the predicate. The verb is always the beginning of the predicate. Gloria runs fast. Who am I talking about?
Gloria.
What about Gloria?
She runs fast.
What's the verb? Runs. Okay, that's the action. She runs. So what about Gloria? She runs fast. Notice that the verb goes along with the predicate. So I'm going to say it's the action, and it is the beginning of the predicate. In conclusion, or not in conclusion, but to conclude, or to finish this. When you write a sentence, oftentimes a traditional, easy sentence has the subject at the beginning, the predicate at the end, and then capitalization, punctuation go where they go. The verb always starts the predicate. So if I have a sentence like, Oak Point is a fun place. Okay, we're going to talk about the different parts of this sentence. Okay, the subject is the who or what. Who or what are we talking about? Oak Point. So that is the subject. So in this case, it's a what. So the subject would be Oak Point. What about Oak Point, you guys? What about Oak Point, you guys?
It's a fun place.
That is the predicate. So what about Oak Point? Well, it's a fun place. So that is our predicate. In this case, the verb is. It's the beginning of the predicate. It's not really an action. It's a state of being. But it actually is considered a verb. So our verb in this case is the word is. Many sentences start with a verb that is a state of being. State of being means it doesn't really show action. It just says what it is. So Oak Point is. Is a very common one. Punctuation. I don't think I need to show you where punctuation goes, especially at the end of the sentence. But I have it here. And then the last thing we want to reference is capitalization. Whoops. And we should spell it correctly. Capitalization. In this case, it's the beginning of the sentence, and since we have a proper noun, Oak Point is a specific place, the point needs to be capitalized because it's part of the name. Included in all of this, which I haven't referenced yet, included in all of this is, I'm going to go like that, spell correctly. And since you have a device in your hand with an online dictionary, I'm going to expect you to spell correctly. I'm going to be kind of okay once in a while if you throw in a spelling error, but if you're typing up a blog or if you're typing something up on your iPad and you have several spelling errors, I'm going to take a point away. Because spelling does count, especially when you have a device in your hand that helps you spell every word that you could think of. Is autocorrect an excuse for incorrect spelling? Can you say, Mr. Pottinger, I spelled it correctly, but I changed it because of autocorrect. You think I'm going to take that as an excuse?
No.
I am not going to take that as an excuse. So please don't ever tell me autocorrect is the issue. Any questions before I shut down the video? Mackenzie, I will go back to the notes in a second and show you. Any other questions about what I said? Yusuf?
Can we take a picture of it?
Yes, I will go back to that in a second. Any questions about what I said? Okay, sweet.